OCO, free thinkers.
I make you think, yeah. I make you think, I make you think, yeah. I make you think, yeah.
The next question will be, if
appreciate you, B.
really happen,
yes,
how would they look like? Experts have floated figures as high as 24 trillion US dollars to account for centuries of unpaid labor and resource extraction, though no consensus exists.
Yes.
We also have the National African American Reparations Commission proposing this particular figure.
Yes.
These funds are dished out or disbursed. They could help maybe build Africa so that it could be a better place.
Yeah, but the problem,
they're talking about getting reparations from America to help build Africa. Am I hearing this correct? Wait, I'm at a loss for words. Wait, hold on.
There's no framework, of course, but there are hopes that it could potentially, come to fruition.
Yes.
Public opinion also remains very divided. There was a 2021 Pew survey that found only about 3 in 10 U.S. adults said descendants of enslaved people in the U.S. should receive repayment, in some form, such as land or money. So it's safe to say that Americans view the prospect of reparations mostly very, very negative. They don't see like something that should even happen.
Yeah, and
if you go back and
whoa. So Ghana actually believe that they're going to have some Africans over here who consider themselves as Black Americans. What was B. Miles just saying? The Destiny Swap. They're going to disguise themselves as Black Americans over here and fight for reparations, whether if it's through money. You heard her. Through money or land to help build Africa. Type 13 if you like bullshit. Your ancestors ain't go through what ours went through. Type 13 in the chat.
Look at Martin Luther King, and it's online. The speech that he was going to do at his church, that the week that he died, you would have thought that was Malcolm X. Martin Luther King was sick of getting his ass beat on. He wanted to be about finances. He was talking about some of the things that were going on in the war that nobody dared to speak about. That was the reason why they killed that man. But the version of Martin Luther King that Black people love,
that's halfway true. The other half of that, Martin Luther King went against the government. Don't forget that. And I like this brother. This is, what's his name? David Banner. Nah, but like I said, that's partial true, but he was also taken out because he went against the government. In fact, that is the reason why he was taken out. He was exposing what the government was doing for other people and not its own. At that time, he thought that we were a part of the government, like we were the people. I'm talking about Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King was led astray, and this is the reason why he came out and said that he led his people to a burning house, because he realized that what all the promises the government was making and all those politicians were only benefiting the foreigners and not our own people. So he tried to make, eventually he made a coalition to try to make all people come together. All people come together to fight to have equal opportunity to benefit all for the government's welfare. And, by that time it was a little too late as far as Martin Luther King is concerned, but he did switch it around. Once he realized that the government was our enemy, that's when the target was placed on his back.
I don't think Martin Luther King liked him when he died. If they could separate themselves, he wouldn't like that dude.
But that's heavy.
But it's the truth.
But how?
He told Harry Belafonte, I think I have integrated my people into a burning house.
Right.
That's basically telling Harry Belafonte everything that I built my life on is a lie.
Right.
He said that. David Banner didn't say that.
No, he did say that.
Ask his kids, they would tell you that. It's just harsh to realize that we've been duped, bro. That's the hardest thing when it comes to food, history, bro. If it ain't mathematics or science, in most cases, these people done lied to us.
So they lying in mathematics and science. Mathematics is another form of science. If men lie and women lie, and so does numbers, because it's men and women that control the numbers. Yes, they are in control of the formulas. The science is full of theories, unproven. Science is bullshit as well.
Hard to admit that we went down the wrong road, bro.
So I'm trying to separate, because I'm trying to follow, and specifically to Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King. The version that is in front of us, the propaganda that we see in schools and in Black History Months and the I Have a Dream and the monuments and how great Martin Luther King was and what he's
Bird man, thank you for the 35 months.
That it's a lie.
What I am saying is,
Faith is all we need. Thank you for the 28 months.
boy, here go all them endorsements, Regina. Regina said, No, bro, like, integration was the worst thing that ever happened to Black people.
Set it on fire. Fire, 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 fire.
I have been saying ever since I've been online that we messed up. I believe David Banner be watching my channel, because I know I was the only one saying that for a fact. It wasn't nobody else saying that but me. I said that's what we made our mistake. Integration. Hey, David Banner, if you watching my channel, brother, you welcome to pop up on the channel, brother, at any time. We can have a great discussion. And I know, and I'm sure you know that YouTube be acting up, but we can still have a discussion. It could be live, but it may have to be edited, depending on how far we take it. The way I look at YouTube is that they preschool toys. You know what I'm saying? They got an age limit to what they can hear. They got them virgin ears. They hear something now like, ow, ow, and it hurt their ears. We can have a discussion that the people will enjoy.
Being enslaved is just losing a war. Like once we integrated, we thwarted the opportunity to teach our own children. We don't have no options on what we teach Black kids in public schools. Think about this, y'all. In a lot of public schools, in a lot of colleges, they tell Black men that they can't wear locks. Your natural hair.
Right.
Dog, do you see that they say they can do anything to meet that they want to, put anything they want to without telling you the truth about it? Think about right now in America, what Black people have influence over what happens to their children in general.
No, yeah, I'm pretty sure he's still gonna be Pan-African. He gotta hold on to that for dear life, but he really don't have to. If I'm not mistaken, he either from Atlanta or Alabama. He really don't have to. All we gotta do is do his research on his family. He'll lock that African stuff up really quick. But I mean, that's up to him, you know. That's totally up to him. I mean, because when we see him, we don't see no African, you know. No, he from Mississippi. Oh, excuse me, he from Mississippi? Yeah, nah, you know what I'm saying? African where? You from the soil, brother. You from the soil. There ain't no African touch Mississippi. You better stop playing. You even got the largest tribe, the Mississippians. You better stop playing. I do need to talk to him. Y'all saying that he Pan-African. I'm familiar with it. I remember one of the back in, you know, when Umar Johnson was coming up, David Banner came out with an album. It was cool, but I was so glad that one track he had used one of my favorite takes that Farrakhan had said, and he clipped it. He said, see now, as long as they kill us and go to Wendy's and have a burger and go to sleep, they gonna keep killing us. But when we die and they die, then soon we go, Farrakhan went off. That speech when I was ready to fight after hearing that. Farrakhan went in. Damn. Farrakhan up there in age now. I just thought about that. Woo, Farrakhan up there. Because if I'm not mistaken, it's either my grandfather a little bit older than him, or he may be a little bit older than my grandfather. Woo, Farrakhan up there. I hope everything okay. I haven't heard from him. I don't know what's been going on. Y'all know I'm not into I'm not FOI, no NOI, I'm not any of that. But he went off on that speech. Then soon we gonna sit at it, and David Banner clipped that and put that in his on his CD. And I heard that track, like, y'all need to listen to that speech, because everything was cool until Farrakhan went off at the end of that speech, and you could tell he was freestyling. It just came through him. We gonna sit at the table and talk about we want some of this earth. No, he said we want some of this earth because we'll tear this goddamn country up. He got pulled off the internet for that speech. Matter of fact, that's what really pissed them off. He got belittled because he said that we'll tear this goddamn country up. You say he's 93 years old? Oh yeah, he up there. All right.
What they feed them, what they see on TV, what they hear on the radio, any of those things. So by integrating, by even saying that you want civil rights, take the word, the operative part of the word is civil, right?
Right.
You're saying that I just want you to treat me civilly, right? And anything that you do in life, 9 times out of 10, you're not gonna make 100, right? Even if you're great. So if you fall short of civil, that means they treat a dog better than they treat you. I don't want civil rights.
Very good points. Very good points. Because on top of that, we was fighting for civil rights, right? Hold up. We was fighting for civil rights. Did we ever receive it? What class do we fall under? We was fighting for first-class citizenship during the civil rights movement. We wanted first-class citizenship during the civil rights movement. Did we get it? No. They dropped you down below second, made you third. And this is the same government that we're asking for a handout from. They owe us. And you think they're gonna be like, no, we're sorry. I'm sorry, you take the land. I apologize. They're not gonna be doing that. They a whole government. But when we have our government speaking for us, out there in representation of us, when we have our military, when we got our brothers and sisters out there representing us and will fight and die for our well-being. See, that's what our ancestors did. Ain't like we ain't do this before. I'm just trying to wake that warriorship back up that's embedded in you. Ain't too far, but yeah, nah, he right though.
Treat me like the God that I am.
Right.
And so what I'm saying is that they take pieces.
Right after that, treat you, I want you to treat me like the God that I am. Right after that.
Civil rights, I want you to treat me like the God that I am. And so what I'm saying is that they take pieces of a person. Like they couldn't stop Malcolm X, so what they made him was an X on a hat. The same thing that they did to Jesus in Christmas. They took Christ out of Christmas and put an X. These are the mind games that we don't see. And to be honest with you, as our friendship grows,
X marks the spot.
These are types of things that keep me up at night, Cam, because I see it. And it's so clear.
So you would have wanted segregation to stay segregated?
Well, I would have wanted black people to
Cam asked me that question. You don't think that Cam, you don't think that we weren't doing any, look at our history. Cam got to be like between 37, 38. Cam, you from my generation, you know that our people were well off. If you ever looked up your people's history, I'm talking about well off land, farms, jobs, or businesses. They were well off prior to desegregation. He's 37 years, so he around my age. He know better than that. Now, if he don't, then I need to have a conversation with Cam. I need to have a real sit-down conversation with Cam. If he don't know, especially with him coming from Georgia, he gotta understand Georgia's history. And it's rich indigenous history in Georgia. We cannot skip past that. Ain't nothing African about it, baby.
Oh, shit. I would have wanted black people to praise their own God.
Okay.
I would wanted black people to teach their own kids. I'm not saying that we can't be together, but would you respect somebody who you allowed to stay in your house, whether you forced them to stay there or not? And what, they've been staying there for 50, 60, 70, 80 years, 100 years? It's time for us to get our own. If we have our own, then we don't have to beg for anything.
Or the ability to create your own. Because I think that's a lot of suppression too that's not being mentioned.
Wait a minute. I agree, Cam. Hold up. I agree, but that don't mean that we don't have the ability. Oh, we got the ability. We learn just like how they learn. We teach just like how they teach, right? We talk just like how they talk. We walk just like how they walk, right? If they could do it, we could do it. There's no stopping us. They just, in a way, step out of the way, allow us to take it from here. If you don't allow us, we go fight for it. We go fight to the death. What you gonna do? Drop a nuke? What you gonna do? If you scared, say you scared. I'm not scared. I'm ready. I'm not afraid at all. Afraid of who? White folks? You want me to be afraid of a Caucasian that's afraid to look me directly in my eye already? I'm 6'3", standing tall. I don't care if that nigga was taller than me. You think I'm not gonna look him directly in his eye? You got another thing coming. Scared of what? He breathed the same air as me. It's about what's right and wrong. Don't let them fool you into thinking that you need to bow down to them or else. That's not how life is supposed to go. That's not how your life is supposed to go. They hand you a book and tell you to read it because they say it's religious and tell you that's your God. And if that's the case, then why would God order them to come on these lands and take it from the indigenous people by way of manipulation and greed and war? That's the God they wanted you to serve. They put it on their own dollar bills. In God we trust. That's the same God. You see what's important now. Indoctrination has levels to it. If you're gonna be about your business, you're gonna have to be about your business. If you're gonna be about your people, you're gonna have to be about your people. If you say you're gonna do something, you're gonna have to do it. You can't be scared of these niggas. I don't want you around me if you scared. You keep your scary ass over there somewhere. See, that's them, to go back what B. Miles was talking about, that's them boule house Negroes. We don't need you. Let me keep it professional, cause let me chill.
Especially going back to slavery. It's not to say that we couldn't have our own. We didn't have the rights to have our own. You know what I'm saying?
But what I'm saying is that even within that, man, like, I give you a great example. I told you, bro, if I had any power in the spaces that I wanted, it's coming. But like, bro, I would make you the Black Superman, bro. Like, period, dog. I don't want there to ever be a period where our children don't think that they're gods or that they're superheroes. Like, think about this. This is gonna mess y'all head up. A real superhero is a representation of a god. Wonder Woman is a god. Superman is a god. I love Black Panther. I don't want to be no cat. I want to be a fucking god. And what they telling us that we can't be gods when when the word hero comes from Heru, a black man. So the word comes from a black man and you can't be a real hero? And then watch this, it's gonna fuck y'all head up. Where does Superman get his power from? Come on, y'all in here.
Krypton.
From the sun.
White people are allergic to what?
The sun.
There's no way Superman could be white. White scientists said that it's not possible. They run from the sun. Superman is supposed to be darker than the darkest night ever. These are the things that I notice, and it be fucking my head up, dog. I can't sleep. And I be like, don't nobody else see it? And then when I say it, Negro said it, I'm crazy. When I said something about that
jab.
Because last time I said it, they threw me off TV. Like, and look at what they're saying about what happened to people after they took that. Blood clots. They can't have children. They die. I missed the movie because of that. But they acted like I was crazy when I said something about it. Bro, I'll just tell you this. From this point in my life, and this is gonna surprise you, I really wanna be around good human beings. Everything that I do
like-minded people
always be for black people. But I realize that it is important for me to do for me, and those who see it can come along, those who
like-minded people
suffer. And it was.
I agree with that. Only keep around like-minded people no matter their skin complexion around you. I agree with that. Like-minded people, you're gonna know the difference. You're gonna know the difference. It's a huge difference. And it doesn't matter their skin complexion. Y'all vibing on that same vibration. Y'all know what we got to do. That's free thinkers right there. Truth seekers right there. That's what I'm talking about. That's where the unity needs to happen. That's when we unify. Right there. We unify with the right like-minded people. I agree with that.
They see if my way is the right way, it's the way to go. But Cam, it's the best time in history. Why everybody's scared, and while so many wild things is happening in the world. If we had our shit together, it wouldn't take but a couple of us to put our money together, bro. We can go buy and do anything. We can go buy up Ghana. We can go any of these places. Buy land.
I don't know about Ghana.
To Mississippi.
Can I ask you a question?
How about that one? That's better. Buy land here. Buy up Mississippi. That's better. I don't know about Ghana. Leave Ghana alone. Let them handle what they got to handle. Worry about home first.
Yes.
Point blank period. No sugar code, no nothing. Are you?
Wait, I thought Cam was from Georgia. He said we could go back to Mississippi. Is Cam from Mississippi? I thought Cam was from Georgia. Cam definitely got a Georgia accent. He from Atlanta. Okay, yeah, nah. Okay, he from Atlanta. Yeah, he from Georgia. Okay, yeah. I'm about to say. Shout out to both of the brothers. That was a good conversation. Shout out to both of the brothers. I wouldn't mind talking to any one of them. You know, we'll have a great discussion. It could be various topics, but great discussion. And I would love to have a conversation about history with David Banner. I definitely need to speak with Cam on history so I could get him well versed on what happened in Atlanta, especially with him coming from Atlanta. You know, oh, he from College Park? Okay, yeah. I know people in College Park.
OCO Freethinkers.
I make you think, yeah. I make you think, I make you think, yeah. I make you think, yeah. I made you think, yeah. I made you think, I make you think, yeah. I make you
He's
think.
here to make you think.
I make you think.